Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, this is David Benjamin from HealthyWildandFree.com. Today I want to share with you the top 3 signs of intestinal parasites and what you can do about it. So if you aren't already aware, intestinal parasites are very common not only in third world countries, but actually right here in America and other first world countries like Canada, the UK, Australia, wherever you may be. The reason being is because parasites are everywhere. They penetrate our environment. They're in our soil, they're in food, they're in the water. I mean, you really can't escape parasites per se in the world, in the environment, and it's a very common misconception that people think it's only in third world countries and it's only an issue there, when really the truth is a good chunk, at least 3 out of 4 people, 80% or so of Americans, 85%, it's different sources say different percentages, but around 80 to 85%, so more than 3 out of 4 Americans have parasites. So a parasite is defined as anything that lives off the host, any mechanism that lives off the host. So typically when I say parasite, you think parasitic worm, and that's mostly what I'm talking about here in this video, because parasites, parasitic worms really do the most damage and the most harm and are really the toughest to get out of your body to get back to a state of health and vitality. But with that being said, a parasite could also be considered a yeast infection, candida yeast infection, same thing really, or other types of infections where something is living off you, the host, an invader living off you and using your energy and your nutrients and things like that. So parasites are very interesting, very crafty, very smart. They have a mind of their own, literally. I mean, they're worms. They have a mind, they have a brain, and they are smart, and they really attack your body and they attack your health. And if you don't know what you're doing, they can really cause a lot of detrimental health issues. And that's why it's important to understand what causes parasites, how to avoid them, and what to do if you have them. And really just be smart with it, because one of the things I've noticed with the health work that I do, and just really getting to know a lot of holistic naturopaths, natural medical doctors, and people that work in the holistic health profession, one of the things I've noticed is that a lot of people that have health issues and they can't find out what the issue is. They have low energy, or they can't sleep, or weakness, or bad joints, or weak muscles, or muscle deterioration, or all these different health issues, and they have all these different health symptoms, but they can't figure out what the issue is. And one of the things I've noticed is a lot of the holistic profession, the holistic health world, a lot of different protocols, some of them can help, some of them really don't help that much. But that's one of the things I've noticed is a lot of the holistic health world has found, I guess you would say, that if you can't find out what your health issues are, if you can't find any huge nutritional deficiencies or metal toxicity or hormonal imbalances or whatever it may be, one of the main kind of health problems or challenges is that you have parasites, and those parasites are residing in your body, specifically in your intestines, because that's where it's a feeding ground for them. And that's what's causing your health issues. So if you have health issues or health challenges or symptoms and you don't know what it is, there's a very good chance it could be parasites. So the top 3 signs of parasites living in your body, living in your intestines, are number 1 is really just digestive disorders, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, gas, any disruptions or irregular issues in your digestive system, because once again, parasites live in your intestinal tract. Your intestinal tract is where nutrients are absorbed, and it's where food is absorbed, and it's it's a big part of your digestive process. And worms sit and fester and breed new worms in your intestinal tract, and that's where they live. So if you have digestive disorders, and it's common, and like I said, gas, bloating, IBS, diarrhea, whatever it may be, that could be one indicator that you have a parasites living in your intestines. The second sign is irregular sleep patterns. One of the key things that I think a lot of people forget or misunderstand is that intestinal worms have a different sleep cycle than we do. Intestinal worms are awake at night and asleep more during the day. So when you go to sleep and your body, calms down, your heart rate and everything, your whole physiology, everything changes, that's when worms come to life. And then they start feeding and eating in your intestinal tract. So what's an interesting kind of thing to look at here and understand is that if your digestive system, if you have digestive issues, digestive disorders, that could be an indicator. But another indicator to add on to that is irregular sleep patterns, or having trouble falling asleep, and having specifically digestive movement, gas, bloating, diarrhea, whatever it may be, at night, at a time, or not specifically diarrhea, but gas, bloating, just movement when you're going to bed, because that's when they're waking up and that's when they're either feeding, they're eating, or during the night at all. So those are the first two signs, and if you have both of those signs, that's a even more stronger indicator that you could have intestinal parasites. The third sign of intestinal parasites is simply itchy skin. Parasites, they move, they're worms, and if you have itchy skin or a rash on your skin, like on your arm, or a lot of times that rash will be in the abdominal region or the groin region or the buttocks region, because worms tend to be in this kind of midsection area because that's where they live, that's where they grow, that's where they replicate and duplicate, and that's where they are. So if you have itching or a rash, or you feel movement, sometimes people can actually feel movement of the parasites, because once again, they're worms and they're moving, and they're in your intestinal tract. Worms can travel throughout your body. Parasitic worms can travel all throughout your body. The majority of them are going to stay in your intestinal tract because that's where they eat, that's where they feed, and that's where they grow, but they can travel throughout your body as well. So it is important that if you have any type of parasitic worms, to take action to begin to starve them is step one, and then step two is begin to kill and remove them from your body and feed your immune system to fight them off. So those are the three signs of parasitic infection, a parasitic worm living in your intestinal tract. If you think you may have parasitic worms, there are other signs as well. Another one is brain fog and things like that, because worms in your intestinal tract kind of disrupt your thinking and create fogginess. There's other signs and symptoms as well, and I'll put an article below with more information. But if you think you have parasitic worms, or you know you do because you've gotten tested by a naturopath or biofeedback testing mechanism, what you can do is 100% up to you. The first thing I'd recommend is cutting out all sugars completely, and that includes bread, carbs, even fruits, anything processed, snacked, even rice, starches, fruits, sugars, breads, carbs, all of it. Cut out all fruit completely, or grains that break down into fruits, once again starches and things that break down into sugars. Those sugars are going to feed the worms the most. Those sugars are what keep the worms alive, and once you start to starve your intestinal worms of sugars, they become weaker, and you want the worms to be weaker so that you can attack with other nutritional and different nutritional and food protocols and other processes as well. So first things first, stop feeding them, and the number one thing that feeds them is sugars, and anything that breaks down into sugar, any type of food or food group that breaks down into a sugar. Once you do that, you really want to boost your immune system and eat a lot of hot stuff. So drink a lot of water, eat a lot of cayenne, garlic, onions, all those things that boost your immunity and that are hot. Parasites hate hot things. The hotter the food, the better for killing parasites. It really just burns them out and smokes them out, and it's really beneficial. So eat a lot of hot things, drink a lot of water, take probiotics in your diet, kimchi, sauerkraut, any probiotic supplement, whatever it may be, probiotic drinks, kombucha, kefir, whatever it may be. And I specifically recommend non-dairy kefir for parasites as well, just because dairy parasites, they can feed off the dairy, basically, in my opinion at least. So basically eating a lot of hot things, a lot of water, a lot of probiotics, a lot of vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and you can do other things as well. A sauna is great. A hot tub that doesn't have chlorine in it is beneficial. Anything that is hot or that induces heat on your body is beneficial, because it really just heats them up and begins to kill them. Also, papaya seeds are great. The seeds of the papaya, those little black seeds, if you scoop those out and just eat those, they're really spicy, and they really do an effective job at killing and getting rid of parasites. Also, cloves are beneficial for getting rid of parasites. Cloves actually stop, basically discontinue parasitic worms from laying eggs to create more parasites. So eat cloves, and what I do is I put cloves in water and I just drink that water. So I have clove water. It's high in antioxidants, and it's going to help not allow parasites to grow and thrive if they already are in your body, which a lot of us do have parasites in our body just by living, drinking, eating, breathing, and walking barefoot. So that's a big list of things you can do in your diet. You can also zap with a Rife machine or something along those lines. something that has a frequency that just irritates the worms and begins to weaken them. That's another way to weaken them. Basically what you want to do is weaken the worms and then eat a lot of hot things and probiotics and vegetables and drink a lot of water to just flush them out completely. Your colon and your liver are very important organs. Your whole intestinal tract is very important to cleanse and continue to detoxify your intestinal tract and then flush and drain your liver. There's a fiber supplement that has different Amazon herbs within it that's both insoluble and soluble fiber that I recommend. I highly recommend if you think you have parasitic worms or just to prevent them and keep your intestinal tract healthy and clean and clear of all the junk and gunk that gets stuck in there. But there's really a lot you can do. So those are just a few ideas that can help you out if you think you have parasites, or if you want to prevent parasites. Those are great protocols to follow as well. So if you want to learn more about the signs of having parasites, as well as the different protocols, different foods, different actions you can take to both prevent parasites and treat parasites holistically and naturally using organic foods, herbs, supplements, and different health protocols, click the link right below this video. It's a full article with another video that's very informational and valuable, as well as all the links to the different products that can be helpful for you in getting rid of parasites and or preventing parasites, to get parasites in your intestinal tract in the first place. Parasites suck in the life out of you. They drain your energy. They take your, not only fruit sugars and things like that, but they also take your nutrition and nutrients. So they're consuming a lot of that. Not only that, but parasites, believe it or not, they poop as well. So they're in your intestinal tract and they're pooping, and I want to say it was like 20% of your fecal matter can be parasitic fecal matter, or even more. So you're literally creating a toxic environment just by having parasites, because they're creating toxins in a toxic environment and creating more fecal matter that's not even yours, that your body has to dispose of. So it's incredible what parasites do and how they drain your health and your energy and your well-being. So make sure to eat, even just to eat these foods to prevent parasites and do these things to prevent parasites and just to stay healthy. It's very beneficial. So check out the article below. Follow Healthy, Well, and Free on Facebook and healthywellandfree.com for more articles, videos, and podcast interviews. Thanks a lot for your time. This is David Benjamin from healthywellandfree.com. Subscribe, like, favorite, comment, and share this video below, and I'll see you in the next video here on this channel. Take care, live healthy, well, and free, and I'll see you next time. Bye.